welcome to Satsang. So we've had a very exciting week in the community. As some of you know, this week we've bought our house down in Spain, the Denia Open Sky Villa, which now belongs to us. And we set up a company to buy this house, and I think there are six of the residents who are shareholders in that company. And the idea of this shareholding is that in the future, I won't be around, and when I'm not around, my shares will get distributed amongst other residents who've been longer than 5 years in the house. And actually, it's a kind of valuable situation because we bought the house for a very reasonable price, and already it's probably worth 400,000 more than we paid for it. So for those of you who've been there, you know it's having this amazing garden, very, very special garden, a few minutes from the Mediterranean. The house is a bit old, of course, but we kind of like it being old. Recently, somebody built a very modern white house right opposite our entrance, just to remind us what we don't want. So that was quite cute. And then the other great news this week is probably you know that I'm working intensely on the Ramana Maharshi manuscript. If you keep up with my blogs, you'll see we have about 25 or 30 blogs now. And in the recent time, we've divided the blogs up into teaching blogs and glimpses of Ramana Maharshi's life. So there are two sections now. And at the moment, I'm very much involved with stories that illustrate his life, which of course are also teaching. They're also teaching. And the people who have been working for many years, in fact, to put this manuscript together in a digital form from the original notebook. I think they've been working on it for about 10 years. And now we have direct contact with them. And they've decided that they have 120 fragments of the old notebooks, the original notebooks, which were done in 1936, and they're going to give them to me. They decided that I deserve a present because I'm working on these. Well, I'm basically working on a book, and they like the way I'm doing it. They like me being very positive, or I can say we being very positive, because of course everybody in our community is kind of supporting this project. So this project is not a small thing because basically this was a record that was made in 1936 by a man who later in life was an important lawyer. So he was an educated man, I think a very good writer. And so he kind of sets the scene of the ashram and the goings on of the ashram very beautifully. And then he records the dialogues between visitors and Ramana also very beautifully. And I probably shouldn't say this, but you know, I always say what I like. So I've been looking at the two most important books. One is Talk. What? Yeah, come. You want to come? What happened? What? Take it off the table. So you can take it. You want to drink? There's water on the table. In the table, in the cup on the table. Okay. So, what was I saying? I don't know. What was I saying, actually? Can somebody tell me?
You said that you were going to speak something very honest about Ramana or the manuscript.
Right. Well, probably I shouldn't say any more about that. That's why I got this interruption. I'm just going to put her in bed and I come back. What do you want? Okay. 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 Oh, can you pick it up for me? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. All right. Okay. Do you think Naomi wants one too? Here you are. Here you are. Off you go to bed because I'm busy in the meeting on the TV. Okay. She wanted water with gas. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I've been looking at these two books. One is called Talks and one is Day by Day with Ramana. And they were also taken from the meetings in the 30s. But when I look at them now, I mean, I used to be impressed, but now when I look at them, I'm not so impressed anymore because I feel the manuscript I'm working from is much more juicy. So it'll be interesting what happens with this manuscript. But anyway, it's very touching. Probably tomorrow we're going to get from Chennai a package with 120 pages of the old notebooks. So this is pretty amazing, actually. So we've had a very nice week. I've been in Spain all the week, and now I'm back in the house. Okay, we're getting a few more people. Wait a minute. Okay. I must say personally, it's very touching to me personally that because I have so much support from the residents, I can take on a project like this one that has come to us. And I can tell you a secret because I would have to say that many times while I'm working on these manuscripts, I feel Ramana's presence very strong. It's almost like a mystical experience for me. So I also get an amazing gift from working on these texts. Okay, so let's start with our meditation. Close our eyes. And as we look inside, let's bring our attention to whatever is the strongest. Can be thoughts, can be emotions, can be a body sensation, and it can just be silent. So whatever is happening, bring your attention to that place. What happened? What? Yes. Where's your cup? Go and get into bed. Go on, go on, go on. Where's your cup? You're What? Let me see no more. What happened? Okay, so let's look again. Once again, bring your attention to whatever is the strongest thing that's going on inside now. Okay, so we take another look, and this time we give ourselves permission to fall deeper inside. Okay, so when you're ready, let's come back into the Zoom. So if you would like to share, if you put your hands like this, I can see this way. Something you'd like to share about the meditation? Okay, so how about Bhakti? Would you like to share?
You said Shakti?
Bhakti.
Bhakti. Не
Bhakti
Shakti.
in the red top.
В красненьком сидишь.
Меня слышно?
Мгм.
Ой. Я чуть-чуть не совсем расслабилась, я за малышами бегала. Один рот закрывал мне, другой какать хотел. Ну, в общем, чуть-чуть я...
I wasn't really relaxed because I was looking after the kids, and one want to go to toilet, and another one trying to distract me somehow. Anyway,
Right. It's tough with kids. My girls wanted water with gas. So they always talk about it, water with gas.
да, достаточно сложно с детками, потому что детки мои тоже хотели ту воду с газом, то что-то еще бегать туда-сюда.
Да. Ну, все равно очень как бы... Минутка удалась, минутку удалось посидеть. И у меня очень много почему-то сейчас, когда в тишине, у меня много мыслей почему-то именно про сдачу. Откуда они берутся, я не знаю. Вот все время вот у меня про сдачу. У меня какая-то тема сдачи все время, только я глаза закрываю.
All the time when I'm just was in quiet, and just when I'm quiet, I always have the feeling and thoughts and all the thoughts about surrender. I don't know how to explain that, but it's just surrender.
Yeah, I think this is your way. Your path is surrender.
Это, скорее всего, твой путь, частичная сдача, как минимум.
О, да, что-то у меня как-то... В общем, много мыслей.
I have many thoughts these days.
Okay. Anyway, maybe you ask Lavanya to translate my blog about surrender from Ramana.
Я переводила блог о сдаче от Раманы.
Because for him, he had two kind of paths for teaching. One was self-inquiry, who am I, and the other was surrender. Of course, they also go together.
Вы тоже его слышите с помехами, или это у меня
Да.
только? Да?
Немножко, да.
И у него в блоге там вот говорится, что, в принципе, Рамана учил двумя путями. Одна — это полная сдача, а вторая — это самопознание, как самовопрошание.
Я почему-то подхожу сейчас к такой точке, когда, к такому пределу, когда вот что-то тяжело. Вот бывало легко-легко, а сейчас вот как будто что-то, через что-то мне надо пройти. Я вот к чему-то подошла такому вот, что надо вот пройти сквозь это, как сквозь стену.
Before it was quite easy for me to surrender and just accept. And right now I came to some, as usual, and often I came to some wall that I feel that I need to go through.
Okay.
Да.
Is it cold now in Siberia?
GD, sorry, I hardly can hear you actually. You're always interrupting with
I think we go on to somebody else.
Кому-то другому перейдем.
Okay, so who else would like to share? Somebody who's sitting in a quiet room without any kids around. How about that? Okay, Shakti, you've come for the first time for many months. Would you like to share?
For me, it's also really hard to understand because there is an interruption. I don't know, but I think you said my first time after Spain.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So how was it tonight in the meditation?
Fear about what do you say? What do you will say to me?
Okay, just a minute. There's some technical stuff happening. What's happening?
After you went to the girls, somehow the connection with the headphones was a bit interrupted. Let me try.
Just a moment. We've got to sort out something. What's happening? Oh, I wasn't connected at all.
Yeah, it seems.
The girl going to the girls, giving them gas with water. That kind of interrupted my connection. Yeah.
They're not coming in. Can
Now we
problem here.
not yet.
I had to change my earplugs because mine weren't charged. I was in Spain too long.
Yeah.
Oh, say hello.
Hello.
Okay, I can hear her now.
Yeah.
Say hello again.
Hello.
That's how long you've been not on the Zoom meeting. Every hello is 1 month. So, okay, so now tonight, how was it for you in the meditation?
Don't know what to say. I thought about that I don't know what to say to you and I don't know what my life is about. Just not just don't knowing.
Well, Hector, when you came in, I think it was Christmas, New Year time, you introduced yourself by saying, I have many problems. Remember? And probably about 10 days into the September retreat in Denia, you probably didn't have any problems. Or your problems were a lot less. Is that right?
I also don't know.
Okay. Well, anyway, from the
outside, people were enjoying you being there with them, part of the group, part of the retreat, and certainly you appeared to be happy, and I didn't remember you talking so much about all your problems. And you became actually, by the end of the retreat, you became very open, and then you left. And actually now 2 months has gone by, we didn't hear you or see you. And a little bird whispered in my ear that right now you're not in a good space, a lot of thoughts, a lot of issues, a lot of problems, and basically you got very lost. So you need to take responsibility for that, because you got lost because you didn't stay in contact with me. I'm offering every week one of these meetings. You can sit at home and connect to me. It costs you €5 as a student. So you can't say that you don't get support. You could have had support every week for the last 2 months. That's 8 meetings. But you chose not to, for whatever reason. And now you get the benefit of that, which is not really a benefit. Because what happens is that all your mindy stuff, or your issues, which you call problems, it all comes back to you, because those issues have been with you for many, many years, most of your life probably. And some of them would have started before you even had a chance to understand them. When you were very, very small, when you were a baby, they would have started. And this is the same for everybody. Every human being, when they're already a baby, certain things are starting to function in their life. And if they're positive, then you get a positive result 20 years later. If they were not so positive when you were a baby, you get the result of that also 20 years later. So this is everybody on the whole planet, they have this situation. And, you know, basically our true nature, our natural state as a human being is to be at peace. And when you're at peace, the peace that I'm talking about, then you would also feel very happy, and probably more than happy. So that's the natural way for a human being to live. But unfortunately, very few human beings actually live like that. And they don't live like that because they have no priority to live like that. Their priority, unfortunately, has been engineered for them by the society. And the society puts emphasis on talking, it puts emphasis on the outside, it puts emphasis on relationship between probably 2 people, and so on and so on and so on. So the society has created a very strong kind of energetic field in which inevitably you and most other people are living their lives in that field. And around somebody like John David, and in our community where we have, you know, 15, 18 now, we're 18. We have 18 people living with me. Around in that energy field is completely different. And you experienced this very nicely when you came to Spain. You gradually opened up. It wasn't maybe so easy for you. You had various issues that kind of held you. But gradually, being in that energy field with these people that you actually like, you suddenly became very, very open. But then, of course, you're back in your studies, you're back with your boyfriend, you're back with your other friends. And inevitably, then, these normal tendencies of your mind are going to become strong again. And also, because you became very empty, it will stir up things on a much deeper, from a much deeper part of you, actually. And so, you know, it's not so surprising that you're kind of in the thick of a sense of lostness. You're kind of lost because you are lost. You know, there's a pull to what you experience in Denya, and of course there's a pull to your friends and to your close people and so on in the daily life in the university. So it's not so easy, actually. It's not so easy. Oh, no, I lost my feet. So, I mean, it's kind of up to you, you see, because there's no quick fix. There's no quick fix. So if you today, if you feel this situation you're in, I'm going to need some technical help, I think. Oh God, we're having one of those evenings, I think. Okay, so I lost you actually, Shakti. Can you come and help me a bit, please? Anyway, I haven't. Can we have some help? No, can't. Hello.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened, that something happened.
Oh.
Okay. So it's not really that you've done anything that's not okay, Shakti. It's nothing is wrong. It's just that clearly you had a different priority. And now you have the situation where maybe you were too much in that priority and now you don't feel very clear about yourself. And so inside you, almost naturally, there's going to be a part of you that would like to know yourself. And there's a part of you that doesn't want to care a shit about doing that. So this is probably the way, most people are like that. And only you can decide, only you can decide. And of course, your interest in knowing yourself is in a way a bit forced on you, because you had 2 months not bothering, but now you don't feel very good. And so you made the effort to come on the Zoom tonight. So, I mean, in a way, you can't really escape this situation. Most of your friends are quite happy asleep, but in a way, when you had now the memory inside you of something different, which you liked, you can't really forget about that. So that's rather good in a way. And I'm doing this meeting every week. If I now drop my finger there. Okay. So I'm doing these meetings every week, and that's a very easy way for you to stay a bit connected. And at the moment, I'm working on this Ramana project that I mentioned in the beginning. So you could also read some of those blogs that I put up, about 25 different blogs. I need your help again because I don't hear now. One of those nights. Okay. You want to say something to me?
Yeah, I think you're right with the thing that Denya showed up things.
Yeah.
And now I want to take them and look at them and just stay here. I want to stay here and wait that I can go the next step. So it feels like that.
Right. Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
I don't know whether Indira told you, but this weekend we have a meditation weekend here in Germany. And from Monday till next Sunday, we have a free week if you'd like to come and stay in the house. But probably that's too big a step for you right now. Okay. So I wish you well, but you need to reconnect really. Otherwise, it's not going to, you won't get a good benefit, I can say. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
So, can you come and help me again, please?
Yeah.
I don't really hear properly.
You turned the headphones off.
Well, probably.
Can you do without headphones? Can we try?
Shall I do it without it? How can I do it without it?
Just
Yeah.
do it.
It'll be all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing without headphones. Rah. Okay, who would like to have a dialogue with me? Okay, Kamala.
Yeah. For me, this feeling of being wrong is very present in the last weeks, actually, and it feels like sliding deeper and deeper into this feeling, yeah, which has always been there under the surface, and I can see I attached this pretty randomly to anything I can find, basically, yeah, any reason to that I can find to believe that I am wrong, and yeah.
Well, this is somehow a very common structure of the mind, your tendency of the mind. It's amazing when you look here, we have about, I don't know, 25 people, and probably virtually everybody on the screen right now often gets the thought that they're not good enough. I myself had this thought for many, many years, 45 years of my life. I had this thought I'm not good enough many, many times. Now, thank God, I haven't had this thought for 20 odd years. And so it's wonderful not to live with that tendency in the mind, because it's very boring how it keeps repeating itself and we keep on getting caught up in it and believing it. So this is the process where we have to see that we're doing that there's no truth in that thought that we're not good enough, and just move on. Don't get caught up in that. I mean, we have the famous Raj sitting there tonight, and during the last few days, I had written a text that was supposed to go to somebody else, and by mistake, I sent it to him. And then an hour later, I get a phone call from him, very upset because I had said something a bit strong in this email, and he immediately thought it was for him. But unfortunately for him, I sent it to the wrong person. But actually, it was very good for him because he immediately took it. You see, this comment I made, he immediately took it because he knows he's not good enough. So what I was saying to somebody else, he immediately took it for himself, you see. And then he discovered that actually it wasn't for him, nothing to do with him. He must have felt a bit stupid then, that he made himself so miserable for a whole hour, and he was ready to call me and defend himself. Just all rubbish, you know. And we do this all day long, every day. Yeah. Okay. I see Frederick. I'm not sure I know Frederick. Would you like to have a dialogue, Frederick?
Hey, yeah, I'm just visiting for a week.
Oh, you're in the house here.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm in.
okay.
Hi.
I haven't had a chance to meet you yet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
nice to meet you.
You're from Norway.
I'm from Norway, and I came here Monday evening.
Okay. And what do you think of the open sky house then?
I think it's a very good atmosphere. I like it there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
We're
far.
getting filled up with Norwegians suddenly. There's another Norwegian, you probably met him.
Yeah, I met him. Yeah,
Right. You can't really miss him, yeah. He's a rather big guy.
yeah.
I always think he was probably one of the Vikings, you know, that came and attacked the English, cut our heads off, probably cut
Yeah.
my head off some other life. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks a bit more like a Viking than I do, I guess.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you look relatively modest. You know, you don't look like
Yeah.
you're jumping out of a boat, cutting heads off.
No, that's true.
Okay, nice to meet you. We'll probably meet
Nice to
again
meet you.
in a few more days.
Yeah, I'm staying until Tuesday morning.
Okay, we'll see each other the weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And who else have we got? Who else would like to dialogue? Maybe we should talk to Lara. She's also in the Open Sky House since a few days. How's it going for you?
Good, and yeah, it was, some days are very hard for me here to connect with myself. I was very often in my head, and through the meditation it was very clear that I got so much things going on in my head, and but it was very cool that I'm realizing this here very, very often. Like after every fifth thought, I was like, what do I think? And I also read this book from Ramanan, Who Am I? And after this, I was asking this question, who am I, much more often, and getting more in this, perception. Is it like perceiving my thoughts and not identifying with my thoughts and feelings. And I was very releasing, and but it's switching all this time. It's switching.
Well, it's okay to switching. You know, you're not a advanced person. You're starting out. You're young. Of course, it's going to switch. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like it also very much here with the people, and it just feels very right. And actually, I was thinking about a place like this years ago. I was visualizing it, like everything it is here. Like I would like to have it, and it's like a dream here. It's crazy.
Maybe you created us.
Yeah, I thought so.
Manifested us in your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's very nice for you, because if you really feel that and it goes on feeling like that, then that's one of the best things that could happen to you in your whole life, actually. Good. And you're staying another week, I think, are you?
Yeah, I'm on the meditation weekend and the week after, and then I will look.
Okay, good. Okay, so there's time for you to become clear about everything.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so anybody else like to talk to me? Maybe I should talk to Nataraj. He's going through some crisis. You want to talk, Nataraj?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, some of the things I was saying to Shakti are also applying to you, I think, yeah. So when she was in our retreat in the summer, in September, she became very closely connected to her true nature, you could say. And probably this was a little bit scary for her in the end. And so now she's basically not connected probably very much with that part of her. Certainly she hasn't connected with me, and she hasn't connected with the community people. So then all kind of stuff has probably been coming up, which was naturally stirred up from the opening that she had in Denya. She had quite a good opening. Maybe it wasn't as clear as your opening, but likewise with your opening, it's going to stir up a lot of things which you maybe don't particularly want to embrace every day. And now, since maybe the last week or two, you find very often things that you don't normally think much about are starting to appear. And then you maybe feel rather vulnerable, and you have some idea you'd rather it wasn't like that. Is that right? Or
yeah. Yeah, and I mean a lot of doubt is coming up.
right?
A lot of doubt.
And what do you mean when you say doubt?
It's basically doubting myself, and it's like something I pushed away is now coming back in a way, or wants to come back.
Well, you have to remember that all these things that are there in the mind is like a bit of a dream state. You know, it's a bit like you're having a dream. You know, it's not real.
Yeah.
You also know what is real now because you had some 1 or 2 hours, I think it was, about 2 or 3 weeks ago now. You had this happening, this glimpse of your true nature. So you know then you were not thinking about all these things. It wasn't that you were deliberately not thinking, they just didn't appear. Why didn't they appear? They didn't appear because you were there in the oneness of existence. You were just being, you were not involved with all that mass of thoughts from the past. And it was wonderful for you for a short time. So now you know something that you didn't know before. But unfortunately, I mean, the reality is that you're a young guy, and you know this happening, this glimpse that you had, is not grounded inside you in any way, and so it's gone away again. You know, it hasn't really gone away because it's always there, but your contact to it has gone away. You don't have contact to that anymore. Or maybe only you have contact maybe a little bit sometimes. And what you're now getting in contact with is lots of uncomfortable thoughts, which makes you vulnerable and also makes you feel like you want to run away and find this nice space you were in 2 weeks ago. Something like that going on?
I mean, I was looking for safety or something safe.
Safe.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think living in our community is pretty safe. You know, you get lunch, you get food coming to you every day, 3 times a day. You know, you're quite safe. And what's not safe in our community, of course, is your mind. So your mind is feeling vulnerable. Your mind is feeling it could be attacked. But of course, there's no question about your security. You're absolutely secure in our community. And that's actually one of the wonderful things about the community, that it provides a certain space, a certain kind of safe space where this process that you're going through can happen. You know? Those people who don't know Nataraj, if you look on my blog from about 10 days ago, there is a very nice poem which he wrote about his glimpse. He had a very lovely glimpse of silence, and he made a poem. The poem came out of that. You know. So since that time, I mean, I'm sure you have some other moments when you feel very quiet, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you also have a lot of moments when you feel vulnerable and having doubts and so
on. Yeah.
So basically everything is pretty chaotic at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's why I gave you the advice that right now is a good time just to stay calm and just wait for things to get a bit more kind of calm down, like calm down. And also it can be interesting to keep a record of some of these thoughts that comes up. Yeah.
Yeah, I started writing down some stuff.
Like apparently you wanted to rape somebody the other day. Yeah.
This
You can write it on your raping Kamala. I mean, everybody wants to rape Kamala, you're not the only one. But it's like you can just write it down, you see, because it's nothing to do with Kamala actually. And it's not really anything to do with rape. So maybe you can write down what it's to do with, because it is to do with something like you have a fear about your sexuality. Maybe you have some uncomfortable old memories about sexuality, whatever it is, I don't think you're exactly the raping type, Unfortunately for you, you probably aren't going to have too many girls raped by you, because you're the kind of guy that if they go boo to you, you're already running down the corridor. Have you really got the energy of a rapist?
No.
I don't think you're very likely to be a rapist. So when you get this kind of thought, you don't have to get seriously involved in thinking, am I a rapist or not a rapist? It's just a silly thing, but you have to understand what is behind that. Like you had some memory when you were younger, I think, that you saw something that was a bit like a rape. And this still maybe disturbs you. So these things you can find out and write down on your list. And there's probably lots and lots of things like that where you're getting some particular memory or some particular thoughts. And then you can check out, well, what is this about? What's this thought about? And that way you come to know yourself more. You become more acquainted to how you function. But all this stuff is not really important. That's not really who you are, you see. Okay, and I'm glad you decided not to travel down to Italy, because I think this is not the best moment. Best moment now would be just to be calm. Stay calm. Yeah? All right? Okay. Anybody else I should talk to? I think it's pretty much everybody. Denise. Do I know you, Denise? Would you like to have a dialogue? Is she there? Denise Karat. Welcome. I think only her picture is there. I think she's not there. Are you there? Okay. Okay, so I think I'm going to read out this blog that I thought I would talk about. It's quite short, but it's quite an interesting blog. It's called Not Doing. And of course, we're all, whether we're from Ukraine or we're from Germany or where we're from, we're all kind of European. We're all educated. And in the society, we're very much educated to do everything. We take it, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And this is so strong, we don't even think about it. We just automatically do our lives. We're doing our lives. We get some idea and then we go for it, And so this is a short text where Ramana talked very well about this. So he was asked, if I stay at the root of the mind or abide as pure consciousness, will I realize the self? So this is kind of a reasonable question, because if you stay in pure consciousness, then you can somehow expect to realize the self. And then Bhagwan answers, the question shows that the arbitrary mental conceptualization, realizing the self, is still present in the mind. Staying in the root of the mind should be a matter of course. It must be the natural state. On the other hand, you are trying to deliberately do it so that you can thereby gain the reward you call self-realization. Can it work? No. Stillness cannot be reached with the mind. Water cannot be made dry water. Subside as the mind, and stillness alone is left over. People want to know how this may be done. It cannot be done because doing is the antithesis of it. Do not do anything with the mind. That is realization. Doing cannot bring about non-doing. Absence of doing is known as non-doing. Non-doing is not an exotic variety of doing. It is simply not doing. Abstinence from or relinquishment of thought is not a positive act. It should therefore not require to be attended to with effect or volition. If there is any effort or volition involving, you are still stuck in the realm of doing. The transition from the realm of doing to that of non-doing should be a natural collapse. It is pointless if forced. Pointless if it's forced. And this is not so easy for us Europeans to understand even. In many Asian countries like Thailand, probably in parts of traditional Japan, in Korea, in many Asian countries, particularly in India, the people understand non-doing very naturally because it's very much in the culture of those countries. But here in Europe, it's quite the opposite. Our cultural society, the society culture we get is very much about doing. Everything is doing, doing, doing. And this doesn't work with spirituality. I mean, basically, what we're trying to do is to become natural. And, you know, our nature is already there. Our nature is already there. And because we're so caught up in this doing is kind of overlaid with our natural state. So if you stop doing, there is a chance that you will just come to your natural state. It's not that you have to do something. It's about not doing something. He says, yeah, non-doing is not an exotic variety of doing. It's simply not doing. And of course, if you're very much in the society with a job or studying, you're not going to find it so easy actually, because everybody around you is constantly in doing something. And naturally you get caught up in that and you become a bit competitive. And you're also then in this doing. So it's possible to come to this place in a completely different way. And actually it happens with many of the people in our community, just in the daily life. For example, I saw Kashi earlier in this meeting. I think she's still there. And she has a sort of simple life, keeping the rooms in the guest house clean. And but in the simplicity of that life, she has the chance to not do, you see. And when you come to this not doing, you're still doing. Your body's going to still do something. So, for example, when her job would be cleaning rooms, then, you know, you have to make the bed, you have to empty the rubbish, you have to clean the floor. There are certain tasks which together is cleaning the room. So this is just something you do it. You just start doing it and you complete it. It takes some time. And you can easily manage that job without getting into an energy of doing. I'm going to do the room. I'm going to clean this room. I'm going to clean it. You can easily fall into another relationship with that job of cleaning the room, where cleaning is happening, but there isn't this energy of doing the cleaning. Somehow it's a little bit subtle, but it's possible to experience that your body is cleaning the room, but there isn't somebody cleaning the room. There isn't a somebody cleaning the room. It sounds a bit strange, but I think most of the people that live in this house, they now understand that the rooms get cleaned, and how does it happen? How does it happen? Who is doing that? We got rather a nice situation at the moment because we've got a very nice cleaning lady. She's been coming for 2 or 3 years to our house to clean the guest rooms. And now she would like to take part in our meditation program. So she's stopping maybe a bit earlier in the lunchtime and doing the lunchtime meditation with us. And the weekend now, starting tomorrow, she's going to come and join the meditation weekend. So for me, it's very, very nice that, you know, this has happened. We didn't try to promote meditation. We didn't try to sell meditation to her. But somehow working here, I think for 3 or 4 years already, she got the feeling that there is something happening in this house, and she wants to understand that. She wants a bit of that she would like. So I'm very touched when that happens for people. That's really the nicest thing to happen in my work, that suddenly somebody gets touched and really wants to know. This is always very, very beautiful. So I don't know her at all. I don't know how much she understands. We'll see that at the weekend. And probably this weekend will change her life, because she's obviously ready to have some kind of experience. And if the experience happens over the weekend, she something will change. Her priority of living will change. We had actually, we have here Kamala. She originally came as a paid cleaning lady. I think it was in the months before she went to university. And then she did, in fact, leave and go off to university for maybe 2 years, I think. And then she hadn't forgotten our community and the energy here. And then she decided to give up her university studies and come and live in the community. She's been here 5 years now, and she's having a completely different experience in her life than the one she had studying psychology. Here, she's living psychology. Something like that. Is that right? Are you living psychology?
Yeah, I mean, at least what I was looking for in psychology, I find it here. Yeah.
Right.
I moved in, I said, there's nothing, this is the first thing that seems to be so big that I don't just get the idea of it and then can move on. Yeah, but this thing really, it's the
Right.
biggest thing that I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we recently started a honey business because Kamala was interested in bees and honey. It was happening a bit differently to her idea, but anyway. And now she's in the thick of honey every day. Yeah. Okay. So where are we? So with this text, I mean, You can read it on my blog. I mean, you'll find all the texts we've been talking about in the Zoom meetings. They're all up on the blog, so you can read. And if you have any questions, you can always send an email. And this is really a very important aspect of the whole thing. But we need to leave doing and move into a kind of non-doing. You can't do non-doing. Doesn't work. So the non-doing comes out of a certain understanding. It doesn't mean that you stop doing whatever has to happen. You know, if your job is cooking lunch, you say, well, I'm not doing anything today, so I'm not going to cook lunch. You know, I'm just going to leave everybody hungry because I'm into non-doing today. So it's not like that. It's not like that. Okay, Parvati.
I would like to say or to share that a sign when you're not doing for me is that it doesn't matter what you are doing.
Right.
Actually, like also Kashi is doing all the rooms, you can really enjoy it. It's just in the moment. It doesn't matter if you clean a toilet or if you arrange with flowers or. And this is what I noticed here also in the house very much.
Right. Yes.
Just do what needs to be done.
Yeah. What needs to be done, and also what is good for you to be doing. You know? And that's not always possible in our community. Like recently with buying the house, we needed, for example, to involve Lavanya before she'd hardly arrived in the community. She was involving in the financial part of buying the house with Shiva. And so, of course, in a community like ours, there's always demands that come onto the community. And then we have to look for who can meet those demands. You know? But when it's not a pressured situation, then there's many opportunities for people to find their way. You could say find their way, and the way is not to do. It's a little bit strange because on the one side, you know, we do a lot in this community. We're constantly doing projects, we're constantly working a lot and so on. So it seems like we're very much into doing. But it's not about the fact that our body is, you know, doing a lot every day. It's not about that. It's about our attitude and understanding as far as how we're doing it. Somebody like to pick that up? I'm a bit interested to see if we have Denise with us. It's only a photograph, I think, at the moment. Are you there behind your photo, Denise? Would you like to say hello?
Yes.
Okay.
I was a little bit late, so I'm not prepared to turn on the video.
Okay. You haven't got your hair made up yet, you mean?
Yeah, next time. Okay.
Have I met you? Did we meet before? I don't recognize your name. Did I meet you before?
Yes, because I have a spiritual center in Dortmund, and many years ago, when you were not yet in Hittorf, and you were still located near the Black Forest, you came sometimes and gave satsang in my center.
Ah, okay, now I remember you. Yeah.
Yes, and I have another name. At that time, my first name was Thea.
Right. The new name. Right.
Okay.
I don't really remember you as your photograph, but maybe if I saw you for real, maybe next time, then I'll remember you.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Still have your center, or is it closed?
Yeah, I still have my center, but because of Corona, I'm not so active. I'm more working online. I'm giving some teachings online and single sessions, and so not in the group at the moment since Corona.
Right, right. Yeah, I can understand that. We managed to keep going quite well through the virus. But, we're about to go to India. Would you like to come to India with us?
I have been very often in India, and sometimes I even met you by chance. The Ideal Beach Hotel, or in Mamallapuram, I met you on the street. So it happened that I met you sometimes, but not. It was just by chance.
Okay, we recently got a report from somebody living. Well, recently they were living in Tiruvannamalai. They were saying that you can't really get much sense there of the virus. It's very easy to live day by day. There's no real fear about the virus, and of course, it's a very small little town in the middle of the countryside. So that's very good because we're planning to go to India in January.
Yes, I've seen. I saw the program. I cannot go to India now. I have been in India very often, but these days I cannot go to India. But nevertheless, I'm interested in your project in Spain.
Right, right. Yeah, just come and visit us there. Yeah, we've had the house some time, and now this week we actually bought it because the owner of the house was kind of touched by our project and by us. And in 5 years of renting, she didn't have any real issues or problems with us. So she did something really amazing because she's acting like a bank and given us a 20-year mortgage to buy the house, not through a bank, but from her. So this was making it all possible because unfortunately banks aren't very keen on communities of people. So we couldn't get a bank loan, and so we couldn't have bought this house.
You bought already the house?
We've now bought it, yeah, 3 days ago we bought it, yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Congratulations.
Yes, yes, it's a big moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Okay, anybody else like to come through?
Thank you. Thank you very much, David John.
Yeah. Well, before we stop, what about Shakti? Would you like to share how you're feeling now? You've had another half an hour.
Just want to sit there and go nowhere.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'll see you on Tuesday then. Okay. So, okay. So a few things I'd like to draw your attention to. Firstly, as I said, starting tomorrow night, we have a weekend meditation group. It's rather popular. I think we have 15 people coming to that weekend. In fact, last weekend in Denia, we had a Vipassana Island weekend. It was also with 14 people. So it seems meditation is the way to go. There's a lot more interested in meditation than there is in satsang, I think. So next year I'm becoming a meditation teacher. A new disguise, a new face coming. And okay, and then on Monday, next Monday, until Sunday, we're making a special program in the house so that we offer a volunteer program for free. And every night there'll be some different activity. There'll be theatre one evening, there'll be mantra singing and the darshan with me. There'll be a meeting with me. And on next Saturday, we have an Indian flute concert, which maybe we will broadcast. It's quite a well-known flute player coming to the house. So if you'd like to have a bit of an experience, or you have friends maybe who would like to experience what it's like to live in the open sky house, then you could also watch an interview I did on YouTube. So I was interviewed on the subject of community as a spiritual practice, because as you know, in a way, the community is John David's way, you can say. So I'm attracting people to live with me in the community, and I was talking on the subject of living in the community being in fact a spiritual practice, and maybe one of the most effective practices if you really want to become free. So that video is on YouTube. It's also on my website, and that will give you a taste maybe for next week's special volunteer program week. So if anybody is listening and would like to come to that, then contact Radha. Yeah. And then what I was mentioning earlier, on the 8th of January until the 31st of January, I'm offering my 21st year of retreat in India. And we didn't go last year, so this is like a special moment this year. It's quite exciting. And we're a bit concerned about the virus, but today we found out that in that place where we're going, there's not much of a virus problem. And as you know, we have our own small ashram, and yeah, it's going to be a nice time, I think. Lots of fresh air there. Indian air, of course. And we've extended the concession price, I think, until Saturday or Sunday at the end of this week. I think it was Sunday night. So you still can get the concession price if you're interested in coming. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Nice meeting.